This story needs to be told first and foremost as eternal context to any type of game dev video I could ever hope to possibly make.
Way better than me. I think I'm like bottom silver. Oh boy, a free Steam game.
And I've tried to make it 1,000,000 times and it's never worked out. The script has been too long, the story has been too convoluted, and I would just run out of steam and never end up finishing it. Just like BrawlQuest, the 2D massively multiplayer online role-playing game I first dreamt up when I was 10. I remember playing World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King and wondering how I could capture that atmosphere. Yeah, not the mechanics or the storyline or the content, the atmosphere. I can't tell you why that is. I can't tell you why I'm drawn to atmosphere, but maybe it's to do with having a birthday in October. I've got a ton of fond memories of that change of season period, and maybe that rubbed off on me. In any case, what I've always tried to capture in game development was atmosphere.
You love looking out over the stars at night. You know, it's so romantic.
With our massive swords.
If only that blacksmith would stop making such a rattle.
He's not even by the anvil. He's got hammers of multiple different sizes.
Atmosphere. My first actual serious project was Forest Tale, a 2D Minecraft-like MMO. There isn't much to tell here. It was a hobby project, I had some fun with it, me and some friends would play it and build some stuff, and then I lost interest.
So now, as you can see, these two have lit up. So, wood floor, which I actually just made, whoops, and nail. There you go. See, now it is wooden wall and wooden floorboard are both lit up. And now you can also type /roll to roll a d6. Otherwise, you can say, let's say you want to roll a d20, you'd roll 20. There isn't much to update, to be honest. I'm in Lincoln now.
Don't buy it. You're a bad time if you buy it.
My next project when I was at university was called BrawlQuest, a 2D brawling MMO. There's a bit of a theme here, isn't there? They tell you everywhere you look on the internet, do not make an MMO, do not make an MMO. If it's your first project, don't even think about making an MMO. But as a teenager or as a kid, that never deterred me. So when I was at university, I set to work creating BrawlQuest with very little knowledge of netcode or networking, and it got very close to release, but once again, I lost interest. The codebase was a mess from 3 years worth of development going through university, and I ultimately cancelled it.
3 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Goodbye, quest marker. Have a safe journey wherever it is you're going.
So from there, all you need to know is this. In 2019, I finished my computer science degree and created an app development agency called Freshplay. This business was quite successful in its formative years, and we expanded rather rapidly to a team of 4 in an office on the University of Essex campus. Following a job completion, a client asked if we had anything internal on the go, and I'd recently restarted development of BrawlQuest. He offered to fund its development as part of a new company. This new company, Leuven Interactive Limited, named after the lighting package we were using for BrawlQuest, had funding to cover us for 6 months of full-time work for myself and Dan, who was also working on the project at that point. If you could sum up the development of BrawlQuest with one sentence, what would it be?
One sentence. All right. Chaotic and crazy fun. I was kind of learning how to code by doing BrawlQuest. Really.
Yeah.
Most of what I know now is kind of because of skills I learned whilst doing BrawlQuest. So.
In the background, I've been building up my YouTube channel to a point where it now sat at around 5,000 subscribers. This, I thought, would be a great opportunity to convert my video game enjoying audience into enjoyers of my video game. So, work we did. We released an alpha and had people from my Twitch streams get involved and slowly cultivated a small community. The game had its issues, but we worked diligently to fix them whilst constantly adding new content. And finally, after several delays, the game was ready for early access release on February 26th, 2021. Because I've been working on the game at university, we had our Steam page up for several years, and this meant that we were on a few thousand wish lists. At a 1% conversion rate, I assumed we'd get around 100 sales. We still had 3 months worth of salary in the pot and figured that once we had real sales, we could look to secure further funding. So that night, we stayed up until 2 AM fixing a few last minute bugs and then hit release. In the morning, I could barely sleep. I checked the sales chart. I didn't really know what to expect, but we'd sold 4 copies of the game. And 3 of those copies had already been refunded. So sometimes reality just hits you over the head. We'd spent so long working on this game, probably about 1.5 years by this point, and obviously 3 months working full time. I had gargantuan expectations. It was a good looking game. It was in a popular genre. I thought it was really, really fun and unique. We had a good amount of people telling us it was good, and nothing happened. We continued on with development and released a new content patch every Friday and a new bug fix patch every Wednesday. This continued for as long as we could manage it.
It was really good fun. I remember sitting up into like 12 a.m. just getting releases done, yeah.
We did it all the time because we did 1 update a week. We did 2 updates a week. We did a bug fix patch on a Wednesday and a content update on a Friday.
I think it was really good that we had that time during COVID as well, where we could just be both doing stuff and kind of like just contributing all the time and making new releases.
We did end up selling over 100 copies, but still kept coming up with refunds. Plus 100 copies was only around $1,000, and we needed considerably more than that to even work on the game for a couple of weeks at the rate we had been. We had a couple of big issues. The game didn't really work in North America because we didn't have a server there. There was no direction when you started, which was intentional because we kind of wanted it to feel more like a sandbox than a linear RPG, but it just didn't wow people the way that it needed to really grab their attention. And the game didn't really offer much more than other free-to-play games for its £5.99 price tag. Run with the Mad God, for instance, offered a lot more polish and content, and more importantly for an MMO, an actual player base to play with. Eventually, we'd cut our pot down to only 3 weeks and had to make the sad decision to stop full-time development and refocus on the main business, developing apps for clients. At the same time, my YouTube channel had exploded to over 30,000 subscribers, and this was something I wanted to have more time to pursue. BrawlQuest became a weekend and evening project once more. To try and get more players in, we switched to a free-to-play model, but this actually had the inverse effect. It got lumped in with other free-to-play games and, more importantly, stopped making money altogether. I tried hiring a marketing company to push the game a bit, but that didn't really go anywhere either, and now we had no money. I tried my best, but eventually had to reprioritize. After leaving my original business to focus on my YouTube channel, I decided that BrawlQuest had also run its course. We tried to live the game dev dream, and for a brief window of time, we did. I released it out of early access, open sourced the client, and said, hey, this is me saying the game is finished. I'm done. My plans for pushing my YouTube channel full-time didn't really pan out either. I'd go from earning around $1.5 a month to maybe £200 a month, and those crazy swings in income just weren't what me and my wife needed. So in November of 2022, I got a full-time job and committed to life as a wagey. At the exact same time, we found out that my wife was pregnant. This is Ben, by the way. I got to live out several dreams in my early 20s, running a successful business, having my YouTube channel blow up, and feeling like a proper Z-list celebrity, and getting funded and working on a video game full-time. None of these dreams panned out. But that's life, and by the time you're in your mid-20s with a pregnant wife, a dog, and a mortgage, it's probably time to face reality. So, thus ends the story of BrawlQuest, and my hopes and dreams of being a full-time indie dev. Ooh, does it? You see, one of the primary causes of BrawlQuest's clunkiness was our use of the Love 2D framework. You have to build everything in Love 2D with code. UI, game world, physics. None of it is just there for you. The engine provides graphics, sound, and input capabilities. Sure, there are a ton of packages, but I was loath to use them. It's a great framework for small projects, and what we were trying to do was likely way beyond its capabilities, or indeed our knowledge. Enter Godot. After hearing the craziness surrounding Unity's questionable business decisions, I decided to finally give it a look in. I'd never got on with Unity and written it off, but Godot offered something I thought was a bit different, being open source and having its own Python-like interpreted scripted language. And my god, is Godot fun to use! I want to load it up and have a play around with different game ideas because it's just so easy and fun. See, for BrawlQuest, we had to create our own world editor in the engine because that stuff wasn't in the box. In Godot, I can just draw stuff that I'm thinking of and it works. Even collisions are set for me. Animations are super easy, and yes, even multiplayer isn't that complex. Certainly not compared to what we were trying to do with BrawlQuest in Love 2D. So, I am today officially announcing BrawlQuest Re-Enchanted. That's a reference to a mechanic in the game, and only a working title, by the way. I'm aiming to rebuild the game in Godot with most of its original feature set, and I'm only doing this because I was already doing it to learn Godot, because that's something I'm finding fun. I'm not going to guarantee a release, but I'm going to do my best. And hey, may as well start a new YouTube channel while I'm at it with regular devlogs. Or semi-regular devlogs, I have no idea.
If I was to do BrawlQuest again, make it from brand new, I would first get the engine to work properly, all the features that we want in before we actually start pushing it to Steam and stuff like that. And then secondly, I would actually have a bit more of a concerted effort to try and make maps fit in with like story. With BrawlQuest, we very much started. The final map ended up being what we just had based on our testing and development. It was always growing over time. So
it is my intention. Anyway, not committing to it, but it's my intention to completely remake BrawlQuest in Godot. Do I have your blessings to do that? And if you ever want to be involved, of course, you're more than welcome to get involved. If you don't mind learning Godot.
You have my total blessing on this case. In comparing Godot to Love 2D, it looks like in Godot the engine's already there. And they've got a lot of helpers there already for you. So
there's just so much stuff you just don't have to do yourself, like UI and so on, scaling, zooming. This is what I was trying to say in the video. We had to do everything from scratch. Scaling had to do from. You had to study the UI scaling. Like, oh, is a mouse over? We had to get the mouse position and then change the color of the button or whatever manually. Whereas in most game engines, it's just automatic. I can't believe the amount of work that we had to do to get that moving, and that it came out at the other side.
It was crazy. If you need any complex animations, feel free to get in touch.
I will definitely be in touch to see if you can help out on the thing. Right, thank you for the call. Thank you for your words, and I'll add this into the video somehow. But yeah, thank you very much, Dan. See you tomorrow. Now, I've still got a full-time job that I'm fully committed to, and that's important to me, and also exciting, and this will not and cannot get in the way of that, so again, no guarantees here. But if I can aim to do a minimum of 10 minutes a day, that's 61 hours a year. 2 or 3 years, I can probably have it done by then, I reckon. So, here we go. Let's see what happens. And welcome to the new YouTube channel, by the way. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.